First step to check if your beat is ready to sell is freestyle test. Generally, good beat should make writing lyrics easier, not harder, so it should be really easy to freestyle on a good beat. In best scenario, you can freestyle personally, so you just play your beat, loop it, and you just enjoy it, freestyle some bars, okay? If you can do that, but you kind of, you feel the rhythm of some song, you can just use lyrics of song and try to spontaneously put it on your beat, okay? If you are still not sure if it's easy or not easy to freestyle on your beat, you can use the other method, which is just remixing. I mean very basic remixing, so you just find any acapella of song that you like and you put it on your beat. BPM doesn't matter, key doesn't matter, because you can change it. I can show you how to do that, by the way. Generally, it doesn't have to be the best remix in the world. You want to check if your beat isn't too messy, because sometimes when you put vocal, you understand, oh, god damn, there's too much. These two melodies don't work. This short progression don't work. This percussion is too much. And that's what remixing does for you. You will understand way quicker that your beat is too messy, or maybe just too empty, because you think that, yeah, somebody records and then it will sound full, but maybe you just lack bass, okay? Maybe you lack some drums, and when you remix the song with some prepared a cappella, you will be way more confident in your beat, okay? So that's the first thing you wanna do to test your beat. Second thing that you need to check is clicks, and I don't mean clipping, don't mean any limiting and distortion. This is a little bit more this is specific thing that is usually in samples, very rare in some synthesizers, and sometimes it will go in your drum kit. So make sure that your drum kit doesn't involve any clicks in that. I will show you what is clicking actually, so you will understand what's the problem with your beat, okay? And I will also show you the best way to prevent those clicks. No artist will buy your beat with clicks, because it makes listening to that really difficult, really painful. You could handle distortion, you could handle clipping, you could handle bad mixing, but if there are clicks, people just feel like somebody is kicking there in the head, okay? So you definitely can't have clicks in your beat if you want to sell it. Third thing is clipping. Some people are big fans of clipping, but if you really want to get placement of next Kendrick Lamar album, or just any serious artist, you don't want your beat to be clipped, okay? If you do mastering, you put soft clipper, you put limiter, okay, but it goes on YouTube, it goes on BeatStars, then you do separate mastering in another project. I can't emphasize it enough. If you mix the beat, there should be no effects at master, and there should be no any peaks, no any limiting, no clipping, just your plain mix should work. Then when it works, then you can use clipper and limiter, but at first your mix needs to work, so you don't want any peaks over -3 dB, which will make your life way better, and just serious artists will not think that you're a total rookie, because your beat needs to be at least properly mixed, okay? How to prevent clipping? Probably side-chaining your kick to the 808, side-chaining your kick to some other instruments with kind of low end, and just, understanding that you can put down the volume. A lot of producers forget that you can sometimes just put down the volume and you will prevent most of clipping this way. Number 4. Nobody will buy your beat, nobody will use your beat on Spotify if you use unclearable samples. In a perfect situation, you sample only from track clips, and use only some prepared loops, so there is like no problem with clearing at all. But generally, even if you use something from like YouTube and it's not very popular, you can clear it, because if artist is like, he really wants to finish the song, he will clear that, and generally it's not your problem, but he can do that if he wants. But if you sample, for example, some song with billion streams, there is no way he will clear that. For example, I made the beat with Adele Hello sample, okay? With Adele Hello song, Jersey Club beat, but generally this thing could work as remix. A lot of people like that, okay? I made remix with that. People kind of like that. I showed the beat to some artists, they like that. It actually got some kind of SEO movement from BeatStars because I put it on BeatStars, but nobody will buy that. I had few conversations with artists that I work with that buy beats from me. I just showed them they told me, yeah, this beat is dope as fuck, but I can't put it on Spotify because it will go down immediately. Okay, so you just don't want to sample Adele, you don't want to generally sample anything that is like, 20 million views, 50, 100 million views. Is not a good idea because nobody will be able to clear that. Even like, there are samples that are just unclearable. There are samples that even Kendrick Lamar couldn't clear that, Kanye West couldn't clear that, and you just can't make those songs, okay? And the last thing you need to make sure that works is your mixing. So there are 2 tests for your mix, okay? Because mixing is very complex thing. This is very difficult to do proper mixing. You need a lot of time, you need a lot of effort and experience, blah 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 blah. How to check if your mix works in 20 seconds in 2025? Okay, now we're talking, okay? The first test you want to run is on your speakers. If you don't have speakers, you got a little problem, my friend. But definitely bigger than just not selling beats. So you just want to play your beat on the speakers and you want to leave your room. You want to leave your room, you want to leave your house, go downstairs, upstairs, so you can barely hear the beat. And now, what is the trick? If your beat starts to sound different, there is something wrong with the mix, because if you leave your room and now just groove sounds different, you can hear this kick, bass kind of sounds like, like something is totally fucking wrong. You start to hear some distortion. Generally, you can't hear the most important details, and some details that are not that important are just like, more visible. So you want to check if somebody listening to song with your beat, like, from the outside of the club, of some house, of some car, or anything, will hear your beat actually, and not some fucking rambling. Okay, because if mix doesn't work, it will be rambling, like, melody. You just can't hear melody. Then bass doesn't work, kick sounds off, snare is totally dead. Like, if your mix is bad, you will understand it if you just go outside of your room and see how it sounds. And the second test, if you're just a cheap fuck and you get only headphones, you can just put down the volume to the point where you can barely hear the thing, and the only thing you should hear then is your drums. Only drums, and you should kind of feel that there is melody there, but generally you should hear only the drums, kick, snare, hi-hat, when you put this down, because you need to go to the point when you barely hear your beat. Okay, this is like, this is skill that you need to practice to really understand how to feel those things. Generally, you put down your volume and you check what's the most visible part of your beat. Okay, if you got all these things mentioned in the video, it means that your beat should already make you money. And if it still doesn't, and this is probably the case for most guys watching this video, it means that something is definitely wrong with your way of doing business. It means something that you just don't understand your target audience. It means that you don't understand funneling. It means that you don't understand branding. You don't understand how to do business with your beats. It means your beats are good, but you need to have knowledge about selling them. I got something specifically for you if you're this guy. So first link in the description. This is special video, so it's almost 1 hour of me talking specifically only about selling beats. So no mixing, mastering, no making melodies, nothing like that. No stuff for basically rookies, only stuff for experienced producers which should sell beats already but have problem with setting up their business. So go to first link in the description and check how to sell your goddamn beats and how to get your money. I am Mordalski and I will help you make your first K from producing. So if you're interested, first link in the description is special video of me talking about selling beats. Bye.